Welcome back to the Endurodrome event in Autopolitan 2. Due to an error that inexplicably occurred in the part 1 of this event, the El Chupacabra did not in fact take 6 minutes to go around the track. Instead, it did it in 2 minutes and 57 seconds, and its score will be adjusted by the end of this event. This is the final episode of Season 2, and as such, the standings at the end of this event will dictate the winner of Autopolitan 2. Without further ado, let's see our first contestant. There are 6 cars left to go before the finale, and first up is the Nopal. Some believe that this car is not even going to really make it over the first hill, but I guess we'll find out. It's going to have to do a strong showing if it wants to actually, well, be relevant in the results. In 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off, at a pace which can only be described as glacial, but it has made it over the first ramp, so I guess that shows the doubters, huh? Approaching the third ramp, feels like it's been a little longer than it should have been to get here, but it's making it through though, and cutting through this section nice and tidy. Doesn't look like the pizza guy's having all that much trouble handling the overwhelming power of the Nopal. I feel like we're gonna be at this shot for a little while. Yeah. And approaching the next corner, the Nopal looks to be a little wobbly in the suspension, and it appears that cameraman has been the victim of an unfortunate accident. Approaching the next turn, going toward the giant mud pit, definitely will likely pose a problem for the Nopal, as it doesn't have ground clearance or performance, and well, you know what? It seems to have just decided to go around that, so no one seems to be raising any flags against that, so I guess that's allowed. Anyway, Nopal continuing on through the rocky area. Definitely gonna avoid the second little pouches of mud there. Not wanting to get involved with those. Approaching the last little rock ramp here. Someday, here it is. Oh, that's tragic. Alright, it seems to have been helped out by the crew on the side, but doesn't look like it's really having a whole lot of luck with this hill here. And it appears to have stalled. This may be the end for the Nopal. But it's going backwards now. It's an interesting choice of tactic. I think it might have more torque in reverse. Well, if it works, I guess. Nopal continuing on, trying to pull off a J-turn, and through the roughest section of the tracks, it is now onto the bumpy straight. This shouldn't pose much of a problem from here on out to the Nopal as long as it can keep all 4 wheels on the car. You know, I don't really think that the Nopal has passed much higher than 30 throughout the course of this track, and that is definitely the shortest launch we've seen off that ramp in this event. Avoiding every pothole as it does not want the extra difficulty from having to get through those. It does look like it's lurching ever so slightly. That may be due to damage or something else. I don't know exactly. The speed bumps looks like it gave it a little bit of trouble, and it doesn't look like it has the power to get over the bump. Pizza guy seems to be reversing. And he used that little extra push from the altitude of that speed bump to get over the next one. Coming into the final stretch of the course through the gas station, and keep this nice and tidy, no surprises here, and on to the last jump. It seems to have survived that nicely, meaning it only has to get through this last little speed bump slalom area, and it will be able to get its time. The Nopal has completed this event in 5 minutes and 56 seconds. Next up on this event is the SLFE. While this has been a frontrunner this season, it will need a strong showing here if it wants to improve its results. In 3, 2, 1, go. Off to a much faster start than the Nopal. I think that the biggest potential problem with this run is going to be actually just the sheer amount of power the car is capable of. It seems that Pizza Guy is handling it pretty well, though. It may not be actually any reason for concern there. That being said, it does seem that the bounciness of the course is definitely playing with the performance of the car. Approaching the mud pit, getting a little bit of air there. Will it be able to just clear straight through here? No problems there. Onto the rock, and it has cleared it entirely and stuck the landing. Last major rock jump here, and it looked like it might have gone for a flip, but it managed to stick the landing. Off to the bumpy straight here. Looks like it's handling it extra bumpy this time, but it seems to have regained control, and nope, it's definitely lost control. Pizza Guy looks like he might have suffered some minor head injuries there, but continuing on like the champ he is. Going on toward the largest jump of the course with serious speed here, clearing the entire landing area, and instead opting to just smash into a tree. Alright, the crew has gotten the car back on its wheels. A little bit of time lost there. Well, a decent amount of time lost there, but back on the course. Avoiding those speed bumps entirely. Interesting play, and on to the gas station. Nice and slow through here. No reason to push too hard. And on to the next part of the track. Final section here coming up, and it looks like he's overshot it a bit. Turning around, it looks like he wants to do this fair and square, and is taking the car back through the part of the course that he almost missed. And with that, it will be across the line for the SLFE, coming in at 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Next up to attempt this course is the Wallaby. Definitely nipping at the heels of the leaders. It needs a good showing here. In 3, 2, 1, go. Quick start. This honestly, the slight less amount of power in the Wallaby compared to the SLFE, McLaren, and Fatale will likely give it an edge over the top tier competitors in this event. Nicely taking a line through there. Got a little too much air there. Looks like it's caused a little bit of a wide swing, but he's caught it, pulling it back in. Do not think that that cost him too much time, but this kind of intensity, it could make or break a winning time. Every car here struggling with the bumpiness of the straight, but a nice corner nonetheless. Through the other bumpy straight, actually the whole track's kind of bumpy. I don't know if I need to keep describing every straight as bumpy. They're all bumpy, as displayed there with the bumpiness. Through the mud section, and it's gone a little wide there, but will it be able to get the grip in the sand? Yes, it looks like it can, and Pizza Guy's got it back on the course. Rock section posing no issues. Yes, it's recovered. And second rock jump, no issues whatsoever. Onto the long, bumpy straight here. Still describing it as bumpy because, well, it is bumpy. Looks to be handling it extra bumpy. This bumpiness might prove too bumpy, and it did. It bumped it over. But he managed to have caught it and taking it back down the proper side of the course. And onto the really big jump. Loads of speed coming in here. Will it clear it? No, it did manage to land. Nice angle there, and off to the gas station. That may be the fastest we've seen that section taken all day, and it ended with that. Last section of the course, and the Wallaby looks to be with a good time and across the line. The Wallaby SS has completed this event, and looks to now be a little bit destroyed, but it has completed this event in 2 minutes and 53 seconds, just narrowly losing out to the SLFE. Next up is the Wayfarer. Honestly, this spongy suspension could be a blessing or it could be a curse, but let's find out in 3, 2, 1, go. And going off the first jump here, oh, I think that spongy suspension is already going to prove a pain for the Pizza Guy, although it may prove incredibly beneficial on the speed bump sections. Looks like it's about to swing quite wide, and definitely did. We all know the Wayfarer is a bit of a drifter. likes to kind of roam on the wide angles of the course, but looks like he may have learned his lesson here. Let's see if he can handle it in the rest of the course. Going down the really long, windy, bumpy straight, throwing in more adjectives there so we can, tell our straights apart. Looks like the Wayfarer has gone wide again. Seems like it's going to need a little more effort to refine that car in. And coming through the near corner, taking it a little wide, but still nice and clean, through the other bumpy straight, because they're all bumpy. And onto the mud pits, taking it again, super, super wide. Through the mud, will the Wayfarer get stuck in here? Well, this is the first that hasn't taken too wide, and it's gotten through without any obvious issues. Through the rock section, still going sideways, and still appearing absolutely stable. A little bit of a bump there, and it has landed on its wheels. Through the weird house metal shack thing, and onto the other bumpy straight. It appears that the Wayfarer is having a lot of trouble on these bumpy straights, and again going very wide here. But it seems he was able to pull this one in this time, so going wide again. Straight down the center of this jump, this is going to be a springboard for the Wayfarer. And it looks like it managed to land that much better than expected, going over these speed bumps completely unfazed. Again, another wide slide around this section before going into the gas station. Looks like he's trying to reel the car back in, taking it nice and slow to the gas station. A little bit of a pit stop there, and back onto the final leg of the course. Last jump, handled nicely, and these speed bumps should pose absolutely no issue for the Wayfarer, and cross the line. The Wayfarer has completed this course in 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Only 1 second off the Wallaby and 3 off the SLFE. Quite a good showing from a weird crossover truck with way too much suspension play. Next up to attempt this event is the Rallysport. The Rallysport will be competing instead of the Urban Sport in this event, and we guess we will find out if that's the right choice in 3, 2, 1, go. Off to a slowish start, but that's to be expected as it doesn't really take off that fast, but as we know, the Weep can get going at some pretty high speeds, and it looks like it's starting to achieve that now. Lost a lot of rally lights there, and took a little dip into the pothole, but seems that the pizza guy is managing it nonetheless. Coming through, okay, managing might be a strong word. However, it doesn't seem like it took that much damage from that impact and is continuing on regardless. Coming through this corner, a little loose, but not too wild after all. Playing it a little wide there, coming toward the mud pit. Looks like it's got a good run in. Will it make it through cleanly? Yes, it will. Almost falling over there and then through the rocks. Almost losing it there as well. Going very wide. Off the rock jump. Almost stuck the landing, but it looks like it will need a pushover. After getting back on the wheels, it is back to work for the Rallysport. Needing to finish this lap well. It is not that far up on the overall season leaderboards. It needs a good time here. Bumpy straightaway is not being too kind on it at all, sending it out into the sand. But it does not look like any damage was done, so should there be no issue beyond a bit of a time setback. And Pizza Guy's getting it back onto the road and back towards the big jump. Bumpy straight to big jump. Handling it well, and launch. Handled and stuck the landing this time, and oh. Looks like there was a bit of a wipeout there. Lost both of the front wheels. Doesn't seem, it's still capable of movement, but it's unlikely that it is still capable of turning. It is very likely that this is going to leave the Rallysport with a did not finish. Yep, it seems entirely incapable of turning, so the Rallysport will not finish. Let's get a replay on that accident though there. Looks like it slid in sideways. Just unfortunately caught its wheels directly sideways on those bumps, and it just ripped them right off, ending the Rallysport's career. Unfortunately, this final event, the Rallysport, will not finish. Last in this event is the Zoey, and actually last in the season. Let's hope that it's a good run. In 3, 2, 1, go. Off to a good start. Let's see. Nice and gentle over there, a little wobbly in the rear, but looks like it is handled nonetheless. Taking it nice and smooth, going up on 2 wheels, but reeling it back in and getting a nice little slide there. Almost keeping the speed up, but unfortunately it slid and slowed down a little bit, but nothing too major. Off on a long, windy, bumpy straight. There's not a whole lot of good names for these, so this one will be Windy Bumpy Straight. Coming down the end of Windy Bumpy Straight towards the beginning of Windy Bumpy Corner. Nice and tight. That's probably the best that we've seen Pizza Guy take that corner today. Although the car looks like it's bouncing a little bit down there, but it back on the road. Nice and clean down toward the mud pits until it spun out. Not so clean anymore and out into the sand. Can it get back through the mud at such a low speed though? This is definitely not easy, but it seems to have managed perfectly fine onto the rocks. Nice and tidy? Nope, not tidy at all. We've spun around, but it doesn't look like any damage was done, so keeping on going. Onto rock jump. It stuck the landing, but a little wide. Hit the tire on that rock, but it doesn't seem to have done any damage or loosened it, so yet again, just keeping on. On to bumpy straight. Looks like it's bumping the car around quite a bit, and we have gone for a flip. Will it roll on its wheels? No, it is stuck on its roof and lost the spoiler. One push later, it gets the car back on its wheels, and now Pizza Guy's taking it back out onto the road. Got a lot of time to make up here, as this car has spent quite a lot of time on its side or in the air so far, and immediately sliding back in toward the inside of the corner, but nothing major, back onto the road towards the big jump. A little bouncy on this straightaway. Will it stick this jump? No, bouncing way too far off to the left and out into the trees. Yet again, though, it appears no real damage was sustained. After a little bit of fidgeting, the car is back and ready to go back out onto the road. Just a short bit now onto the final leg of this course. Spinning out yet again, seeming to be a little bit of a challenge for Pizza Guy to keep this car controlled. On towards the gas station, no need to push it too hard through here. Nice and tidy through the gas. And onto the last jump. Looks to be stuck pretty well, but still ended in a slide, as most of the jumps in this car have. But now it's just a nice easy roll through the slalom and on to the finish. The Zoey has completed the final lap in this season with a 3-minute and 38-second time. Now let's go over to the podium and see our victors. In third place, the winner of the Season 1 Autopolitan, the McLaren. In second place, the Wallaby SS. And claiming first place in Autopolitan 2, the SLFE. The SLFE has shown that it is beyond just a simple speed wagon. It has excelled in every event that's been thrown at it and proven that it is superior to all the other cars in this tournament. As winner, the SLFE will go on to defend its title in the Season 3 Autopolitan. We wish it the best of luck and extend a warm thanks to all fans at Autopolitan this season. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.